The Olympics has 206 countries, over 300 events, more than 10,000 athletes. And yet, one single football tournament gets more viewers than the entire Olympics combined. How is that even possible? By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why the FIFA World Cup isn't just bigger than the Olympics. It's the single most watched event in human history. Let's start with something that'll mess with your head. Imagine a sport so simple that all you need is a ball and two makeshift goalposts. No equipment, no court, no scoreboard. You can play it in a dirt field, a parking lot, a beach, literally anywhere on Earth. That sport is football. And because of that simplicity, it became the one language the entire planet speaks. Over 4 billion people consider themselves football fans. That's more than half the world's population. And the World Cup, that's their Super Bowl. Except it only happens once every 4 years, which makes it feel like a once-in-a-lifetime moment every single time. Here's where it gets wild. The 2022 World Cup in Qatar was watched by 5 billion people. 5 billion. That's 63% of every person alive on Earth. The most watched Super Bowl ever? 115 million. The Olympics? Around 3 billion across the entire two-week event. The World Cup doesn't just beat those numbers, it obliterates them. But why? What makes football different? Think about it this way. The Olympics is incredible, but it's 32 sports happening at the same time. Your attention gets split between swimming, gymnastics, track, weightlifting. It's a highlight reel of different things. The World Cup is one sport, one story. Everyone is watching the exact same thing, and that shared focus creates something the Olympics simply can't replicate, a single global moment. And here's something most people don't realize. The World Cup is bigger than the Olympics partly because of national identity. In football, you don't just root for athletes, you root for your country, your flag, your culture. When Brazil plays Argentina, it's not just a game. It's a rivalry that goes back generations. When Ghana qualified for the World Cup in 2006, it was the first sub-Saharan African team to reach the knockout stage. The entire continent celebrated. That's not sports, that's history. The Olympics tries to do that too, but it's diluted. Your country might win gold in kayaking, and you might not even know what kayaking is. Football is different because almost every country on Earth plays it. There are more member nations in FIFA, the organization that runs football, than there are in the United Nations. Let that sink in. Football has more countries than the UN. Now here's the part that surprises most Americans. In the US, football, the kind with the oval ball, is king. The NFL, the Super Bowl, March Madness. That's the culture. But step outside the US, football, the kind played with your feet, is religion. In Brazil, kids grow up dreaming of the World Cup the way American kids dream of the NBA. In Germany, stadiums hold 80,000 people and they sell out every single week. In Morocco, when the national team made the World Cup semifinals in 2022, the streets flooded with people who hadn't slept in days. The emotion of the World Cup doesn't compare to anything else. And that emotion is amplified by one brutal fact. Teams spend 4 years qualifying just to get there. 4 years of matches, pressure, heartbreak. Then they arrive at the World Cup and have just 3 group stage games to prove they belong. One bad performance and you go home. That tension? You can't manufacture it. Every match feels like life or death. The Olympics has incredible moments too. But think about the events you actually remember, the ones that live forever in sports history. More often than not, they're from the World Cup. Maradona's Hand of God goal, Ronaldo lifting the trophy in tears, the miracle of Iceland beating England. These moments don't just live in sports history, they live in world history. So why is the World Cup bigger than the Olympics? Because it's one sport, not 30. Because it happens once every 4 years, not 4. Because it's tied to national pride in a way nothing else is. Because it's played in almost every country on Earth. And because it produces moments that the entire planet watches at the same time. The Olympics is a celebration of human achievement. The World Cup is something else entirely. It's the closest thing we have to the whole world caring about the same thing at the same time together. If you want to understand sport, culture, and what makes humans tick, the World Cup is the place to start. Subscribe because there's a lot more of this coming.